This is Sharon with a beautiful jungle. Um, I had to do a voiceover because my energy was low, and with the low energy, and it was windy that day, and it was early in the morning. It's 8 o'clock. I don't think I'm a morning person. Some mornings, yes, but most of the mornings I'm not. And it was right after we dropped the kids off. I dropped the kids off at school, and so it was early in the morning, like 8 o'clock. So my energy was not there. So I said, let me do a voiceover. And on top of that, I forgot to put um, the mic on certain parts of the video. So I was like, oh, this is the Lord telling me I need to do a voiceover. So here we are doing a voiceover. I hope you enjoy the video. So I came outside with my labels for the green beans that we put down. I think it was the ending of July, probably July 28th. This day is August 8th. Yes. So I put those labels down. Right now I'm grabbing a snack from the cherry tomatoes. You see how that plant is hanging over? So I'm grabbing a snack and I'm showing you the carrots we started when I did the refreshing of the two beds, cleaned them up for fall. So I'm gonna use one of those beds that we freshened up with compost and whatnot. Um, I removed the cardboard. That was the day I removed the cardboard, which was August 8th. I removed the cardboard off of there, and because the carrots had sprouted already, and that's the same bed that I had the carrots in. This for spring growing. So what I'm saying here is that I probably should have picked up that cardboard a little earlier, but it was raining so, and let me tell you, it was so much rain. Not that I'm not grateful for the rain, but it was a lot of rain. It was keeping me away from my garden. So I'm happy that I'm able to come out there, and that's what I'm saying now, that I should have probably picked up that cardboard a little sooner. But every time it started raining, it got dark out, and I was not coming out there in the dark. So today, those are the, when we planted the carrots, I do remember we had cut away the beans. So today I'm just cleaning up the beds. That's one of the pepper beds. And I said I was only going to do that one bed, but of course, knowing me, I had the clippers in my hand. So I'm saying, let me just go ahead and clean up. I cleaned up three beds, but I left some peppers because they still had blossoms on them. They were still green. They were still thriving. So I didn't want to take them out. But this bed, I removed everything. And that lemongrass, oh my gosh, if you guys, you're going to see the lemongrass because we're going to do a video where I come and clean the whole garden with the tomatoes, remove the tomato plants and everything. That lemongrass is bigger than it is right now in this picture. Yes, I know it's the inside the word it says grass, but I couldn't grow lemongrass. Did not grow lemongrass last year, did I? I don't believe I did. I would remember because I would have harvested, but I didn't grow any lemongrass last year. But this year, and I gave two of those plants. I grew them from seed, and I gave two of those plants to my mom. So I'm over at the second pepper bed, just cleaning that up, taking out what looks like it's not going to do anything. Oh, and let me tell you, I clipped those pepper plants all the way down, right? And left the roots in the ground. And they started sprouting up again, started getting green growth on them, leaves on them again. So what I'm thinking about doing is actually putting them in pots and bringing them inside and overwintering them. Because, excuse me, they're all bell peppers. So I'm thinking about um, overwintering them. So I've seen other gardeners say like it gives you a jump start on your pepper plants. So I'm going to try that. That's what gardening is about, trying new things. experimenting, seeing what works for you. So I'm just clipping away here. Whatever peppers I saw on the plants that I clipped, that I cut, I took them off, harvest them, of course. So we're keeping everything here. So I harvest whatever was on the plants that I was cutting and the plants that were still doing well. I did end up feeding the pepper plants, so they are looking a little better. Now I'm taking out a basil plant. What I found out about a basil plant, because some of them I just cut down and left the roots in, and they started sprouting again, giving off more basil leaves. So I harvest those and I'm going to dehydrate them. So here I'm going to plant the capitano, the flat yellow beans, next to the lemongrass in this bed. I'm just doing a little bit because I don't really know if I like them, if I will like them. But so I'm just gonna do a little bit. It's kind of like the golden the golden beets, not beets, golden turnips. Didn't know if I liked them, so I only planted a little bit. And then this year we're gonna plant a lot. We planted a lot more, and those are doing really well over there with all this good rain we're getting. Oh, so I'm just running my fingers through the lemongrass. It smells amazing over there. You see that smile on my face? Like that gave me a little bit more energy. But I didn't have the mic on at that point. The smell is amazing. Oh my gosh, it smells like the best tea ever. So that I think I'm just talking about the lemongrass because I was happy about the lemongrass and the smell of it. And I'm wiping my face now. The sun was coming out. Y'all see how bright it is. So I moved over. That's one of the beds that was the bed that had the corn. We all know about the corn. If you do not, please go back and look at the video. So that bed looks really good. Yes. So no, I was telling you guys that the seed is black. So and the soil is nice and black. So I have to be careful where I'm putting it because I have been known to put seeds on top of the soil and not push it down. Anyway, so that's where it is. I got some rainwater from my rainwater catcher that my husband we I keep saying my husband. His name is Cory. My husband name is Cory. So Cory went and I bought a garbage can and he I think I showed you guys that before and we catch rainwater in it. So I just got some rainwater, the best water, and soaked it down. And they're doing great. Well, they were doing great until I went out there a couple of days, like not days, 2 weeks, 2 weeks later, and saw this green thing with like it looks like it has a ladybug head on it and they were all over like it was doing a cocoon or something like it folded the leaf over and it was all over them. So I got some diatomaceous earth, food grade diatomaceous earth, and sprinkled it over all the plants. They were on all the beans, even in the beds that I didn't plant beans. I'm gonna show you guys that. Not in this video because they didn't come up yet. So I don't know if a bird picked the beans out and put it in another bed that had the tall sunflower in it, but there's beans there. There's bean plants there, and they were in those beans. They were in the beans that we put down the end of July. They were in those beans, those flat yellow beans we just put down, and in that corn bed is where I put the um Cherokee yellow beans in. They were all over those beans. Oh my gosh. I was so scared to go. I sprinkled it and then I didn't go back outside the next day. I was so afraid because they wiped out a couple of plants, had no leaves on them. Anywho, video for another time. So, what I'm doing now is just harvesting some cherry tomatoes and some other regular sized tomatoes. It's a lot of cherry tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes are still going. But unfortunately, I need to take them down because a lot of them have died and a lot of them have really grown super tall. So I really have to like focus on this coming gardening season, not the fall, but summertime. I really need to work on trellising these cherry tomatoes up, the indeterminate plants. I really have to step my game up. I really do. So I'm just harvesting cherry tomatoes and whatever is there. So in that same bed that I'm at, um, that I was getting the cherry tomatoes out of, that bed has the asparagus. And I think I spoke about it before, but I will speak about it again. This is my first time planting asparagus crowns, and I don't think I did it the proper way, but we will see if it turns out okay. They sprouted, no problem. They came up, no problem. They're growing. They look like a nice fern type thing right now. So God willing, I will be able. Well, I don't think you can harvest. You can't. You can't harvest asparagus because they are the crown. You can't harvest it for 2 years. So God willing, they'll come up. Oh, and I have I thought it was green. I think it's green onions, but they bulbed. They had a bulb on them, not like an onion bulb, but not really a onion bulb. It's just big. So I harvest those two because I needed to clean up that bed. I harvest two of those. I chopped them up and put them in the freezer. I actually used them. Oh, that's the long bean. And when it was steaming hot outside and I was not going outside, and I get off at 5 o'clock. So it's still hot outside. It's like it was like 106. It's 106 degrees outside. Yes, one day it was 106 degrees. And I was not harvesting them, but then I went outside. I went outside yesterday, and a lot of those beans had just they grew to the point where you couldn't use them. So I just left them to dry, and I'll be harvesting those seeds. And I'm just redirecting the plant because they just spread out. And also over there, um, Karila, we call it Karila, but how they sell the seed, they call it Chinese bitter melon. Melon. Chinese bitter melon. Last year I don't eat that. Last year I grew it because my mom eats it. And I was missing some because it was so bushy and it was only four plants and it was so abundant. It was growing so awesome. And I missed some of them. So they turn yellow and then they split at the bottom and the seeds drop into the ground and they just overwinter. The seeds just overwinter and they're popping up everywhere. Because once they turn yellow and they split and the seeds turn and they have this red coating over them, we don't eat them. We eat them green. Well, I don't. I don't eat them at all, but we eat them green. And I was just over at the bed that we planted out the fall zucchini, and they're doing good. They're doing great already. I don't see any bug pressure on them, but just to be on the safe side, I also put some diatomaceous earth, food grade, on them. So that's my bowl of harvest. And it's so beautiful. I got some cucumbers. So now we're over at the strawberry tower, and I'm just showing you the roots that have grown from us just sticking that in some dirt with a hairpin. So I'm gonna do some more propagating. I believe that's the right word with the strawberries. Runners. I had a pot that I used last year when I was putting all my vegetables in pots. I just used that soil, reused the soil. There is a fountain for every sin, for every struggle. There is a fountain. There is a fountain. When your marigold flower dries, you pull off the bottom part of it, and your seeds are right there. If you ever seen marigold seeds, that's exactly how they look. I'm telling you, I'm learning new things each day. Just trying to adjust my camera so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Trying to turn this up. Yeah, so those are the seeds. Yeah, and that piece that blew out of my hand because it was windy is the bottom part that you pull out. That's attached to the stem of the flower. So I just took that and threw it back in the bed. So if I get some more marigolds next year, a blessing. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. It's a nice quiet house. I can actually think and function and work because the kids are in bed. It's almost 11 o'clock now. Um, if you have not done so already, please click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, drop me a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Actually, I think the bean video is coming out today. The bean canning no soak method is coming out today. I don't know if this video is going to come out before or after the potatoes. And yes, I can for the first time potatoes. Excited. So I'm going to say goodnight and have a blessed day. Bye-bye. Forgive me. I forgot to show you guys me harvesting the cucumbers before you like how she pop up with cucumbers. Good night.